Well, good evening to all. It is a treat to be here with J Street and its many friends and supporters, and so many colleagues from the Congress and Senate as we celebrate American diplomacy. There is no organization, no NGO in the United States now that so stands for the values of diplomacy as J Street, and that is a very, very important thing to say. And I believe when the history of the Obama administration is written, one of the great legacies of this administration will be that it made a choice, a very strategic choice, that the President even laid out in his first campaign, that he would reinvigorate vigorous, creative, persistent diplomacy as a key tool and key definition of American strength in this world. America benefited from having two oceans on either side and didn't need to get dramatically engaged in diplomacy. But a Republican president, Teddy Roosevelt, decided to negotiate the end of the Russo-Japanese War when he was president and was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for doing so. And that began a tradition where the United States, on our best days, would look in the mirror and believe we were not just to be militarily and economically strong, but we were also to be diplomatically strong. We haven't always followed that lesson. There have been moments where we've abandoned diplomacy as a tool, but I am thrilled to stand here with you, J Street, friends of American diplomacy, to recognize some absolutely superb diplomats. You will hear later tonight from both Vice President Biden and Secretary Kerry, who were each leaders on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee and have each been great advocates for American diplomacy in their roles as Vice President and Secretary of State. But it's my pleasure to bring before you, following a video that will follow my introduction, three great American diplomats who will be the recipients of this year's J Street Tzedek V'Shalom Awards, Justice and Peace Awards. They are Sam Kaplan of Minneapolis, our ambassador to Morocco in the first Obama term, Lou Sussman of Chicago, our ambassador to the United Kingdom in the first Obama term, and Alan Salamont of Boston, who is the ambassador to Spain. These three individuals have a lot in common. First, they are each rock-solid representatives of great American cities, Boston, Chicago, and Minneapolis. Second, they are proud Jewish Americans who live their values and demonstrate every day that their faith connects with this important mission of diplomacy in the world. Third, they each represented the United States in countries that are deep allies with deep relationships with the United States. England, the United Kingdom, our parent country with whom we've had a special relationship. Morocco, the first country that recognized the United States after the Declaration of Independence. And finally, Spain, and we're sad to say this in Virginia, but 42 years before Jamestown, the Spanish settled St. Augustine, Florida. We have been a nation with Spanish roots longer than we've been a nation with English roots. But we recognize them tonight for their careers of service and for living their values in a world that deeply needs more diplomacy. After the video, we'll bring them forward to receive J Street's honor with the Tzedek V'Shalom Awards. Please watch the video. Thank you.